Salutations, dear viewers. You're on with the Nexen of the Vast Nexus, and welcome to the first of our Ark Survival Evolved bosses. Specifically, we're going after one of the island's guardians, the Megapithecus. Now, I know that technically you're supposed to fight Broodmother first, although I can't understand why she's tougher than Megapithecus. But we're here, and we're going to deal with the big monkey. Now, the force I have assembled for this is not intended specifically for the purpose. Megapithecus I generally hold to be easy enough that you can tackle it with pretty much anything that is combat competent, although at the alpha level, you should expect losses. Most of the alpha bosses will cost you. However, I want to make a distinction between the types of forces I'll be running for these boss fights. It's not necessarily a game distinction. You probably won't find it in the forums, but I have made a distinction between boss running dinosaur groups and boss grinding dinosaur groups. Boss grinding groups are bred and mutated for the greatest combat utility possible. They are tamed at the highest possible level, tamed with the greatest possible efficiency. They are basically a optimized force for the task. That is not this group. And even lesser so, it won't be the subsequent groups. One of the benefits of using tech Rexes as opposed to regular Rexes is that tech creatures can appear in the wild at higher levels. So instead of maxing out at 150, you can find a tech Rex at 180. I believe they get like an additional 20% onto their base level spawn. And then, of course, that gets added into the additional tame levels, which means that your basic starting point for a tech creature will often be better than a creature of the same nature. Now we have, I'm not sure if it's actually 18 Rexes, because trying to fit them all in the actual teleportation zone is a bit of an ask. Not all of them may go into the arena, but we also have two Utyrannus that are not mate boosted, because it would have taken so long for me to get this unit together. I am actually playing on a multiplayer server now, PvE gaming servers, and I have a lot less time to dedicate to my single-player map. And the reason why I don't just do this over on PvE gaming is because PvE gaming has altered rates that are not official. Now, I am using single-player mode here, which is how I have functions like auto-courage, but for the most part, most of my rates, particularly combat-wise, are official, including the damage reduction that dinos take from weapons, which is not the case on PvE gaming servers. I'm just going to grab these eggs, because there's no sense letting them go to waste. So, Megapithecus, its arena contains a hazard that you won't find in, say, Broodmother's arena. There are no hazards in that arena. Megapithecus' arena has a dead drop. Basically, a kill barrier, fall in, it's over. The thing is, avoiding that problem is easy as hell, because all you need to do is bait the monkey to come to you, and then you have no problem. Now, for summoning the basic Megapithecus, you'll need the Artifact of the Devourer, which is on Carno Island in the northeast. Artifact of the Pack, which is in Upper South, and Artifact of the Brute, which is in the Caverns of Lost Faith? I think I got that right. Now, in order to get it at Alpha difficulty, you'll need 10 Therizinosaurus Claws, 10 Thylacoleo Hook Claws, 10 Megalania Toxins, 10 Spinosaurus Sails, and 10 Megalodon Teeth. And, without further ado... So another thing that makes this boss relatively easy is that unless you get particularly unlucky, it doesn't really approach you, so to speak, until you aggro it. It just sort of, unless you go up to it, it just sort of, you know, bumps around at the other end of the arena and doesn't really cause any problems. The benefit of using Theras for these instead of Rexes is that Theres can fit into much tighter spaces than Rexes can. They're a bit smaller, but they hit as hard, and that's what you really want. You want all that power in a more compact package. I would like to know why my Theres always seem to appear on the side of the group that is facing the boss. That is potentially very inconvenient for me. So yes, you'll note that kind of hole next to the stairs. I'll be able to give you a closer look in a moment. Yeah, that's what we want to avoid. I don't want these actually getting involved. They are at the right settings. Okay. Megapithecus is not taking an interest as of yet. Yes, that hole right there, that will kill you. Do not fall down that hole. So basically, I want to give the big monkey a poke, and then run like all goddamn hell is behind me. Because it will be. And without further ado, GTFO. Yeah, let it come to you. Let it come to you. Courage Roar. Rexes are going to take 2 hits before they're primed. Well, maybe more than that. So yeah, the idea behind like that drop being especially dangerous is the fact that Megapithecus has a lot of knockback in its attack, but as you can already see, its health pool is kind of a joke. And it's already dead. Alright, it's skin. Always collect the hides. I can even find Big Monkey in this mess. Oh, there it is. There we go. Yeah, there's a force field here which keeps you from going off the edge of whatever this is. Technically, we find out in the Overseer's lair that this isn't even a force field. It's a hologram similar to the edge of the rest of the arc. There's nothing out there. So yeah, that was so quick, I'm probably going to have to roll this footage into Broodmother, because that was astonishingly brief. You get a decent fighting force together, like I said, Megapithecus doesn't stand a chance. Ah. Okay. I don't even think the torch I threw down has burned out yet. Well, like I said, that was so short, I guess I'll be rolling Broodmother footage in with this. So, see you there. Salutations, dear viewers. You're on with the next of the Vast Nexus, and welcome to our second boss fight. Now, I would like to note that the way the game is set up, you're supposed to deal with the Broodmother first. I don't know why. She's tougher than Megapithecus. The stats alone, she's got more health. Her minions can inflict status-affecting attacks. She can inflict status-affecting attacks. Megapithecus has none of this. But yet, her artifacts are easier to obtain. Her alpha trophy items are easier to acquire. I just don't know why it's set up this way. Megapithecus is definitely the one you should take out first. Broodmother should be the second, and then the last one should be the dragon. Now, Broodmother does have but one weakness. Megatherium. I have 18 Megatherium here. We are not certain if they will all spawn into the arena. And 2 Uteranus that will be existing solely for the Courage Roar buff. But here's the thing. The reason why Megatherium, which is not normally a combat-oriented mount that you would even think about, is a good choice here, is because they get the insect killer buff, and Broodmother lives up to her name by spawning Araneo into the arena. So we can avoid all of that. We can avoid all of that, or actually no, we can take advantage of that, because these will kill the Araneo. They'll get the insect killer buff, and that will give them damage reduction, increased damage that they deal. They also have mate buffs, because we got a mixed smattering of genders here, and the Uties will be giving them courage roars. It's all good stuff. So, I'm still anticipating losses. I already explained the difference between, like, say, a boss running force and a boss grinding force. This is a running force, not a grinding force. We are going to lose some of these Megatherium. But, as long as they carry us through to the victory, it does not matter. So for the Broodmother, you will need the Artifact of the Massive, that's a lava cave, Artifact of the Clever, which I want to say is Central Cave, and Artifact of the Hunter, which is Upper South? Lower South? I don't even remember. 10 Argentavis Talons, 10 Titanoboa Venom, 10 Sarcosuchus Skins, and 10 Sauropod Vertebras. Now for this arena, because it's hot, I forgot to refill my canteen. Doesn't matter, I'm wearing full ghillie. So my armor's not fantastic, but, well, it's very high quality ghillie, but it'll break pretty quickly. But my hyperthermal insulation is amazing. Now, as a reserve option in a pinch, I'm also bringing a minigun. Because unlike the dragon fight that I'll be doing later, there's not quite as much distance between you and the target, and Broodmother's got kind of a big butt. It's hard to miss her. But because this is like a super broken Ascendant quality item, I'm not whipping that out except in an emergency. I have supreme confidence the Megatherium will be able to handle her. Where's my Uties? So yeah, they're killing Araneos, which means they've got the insect killer buff. Now we're gonna Courage Roar. And yeah, you can see those hit values. Now, I'll grant you that, like, Megapithecus has a rock throw attack that can one-shot you if it happens to catch you with crap armor off your mount. However, yeah, you can Rex Rush a Megapithecus, you can Theory Rush a Megapithecus. In fact, I struggle to think of a combat mount that can't just rush Megapithecus. Here, the effectiveness of our Megatherium is down to the insect buff, honestly. Because they're not even all able to reach her right now. There's a bunch sort of stuck in second and third row that's not hitting her, and you can just see those damage numbers. Yep, there goes a Megatherium. So yeah, the few at the front are taking most of the abuse from her attacks. Those are the ones that end up going down. So we've lost one Megatherium out of 18. Up 2. Three. She's already down to halfway, though. Yes, unlike 4, 5. She's giving a pretty good account of herself here. 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. Now, I want to see if I can get the loot instead of... So I'm going to wait till she's low, and then I'm just going to bullet her, just to make sure I get the element and the trophy. There we go. Fortunately, I forgot a taxidermy tool again. Why I keep forgetting one. It is by no extent of the imagination essential, but I like having these hides. Yet further proof of their defeat. So yes, we took some substantial casualties. And these are Ascendant saddles, too, which gives you an idea that, yeah, she's tough, but again, I can hear it now. A lot of people are going to say that you tackled her with creatures that maxed out at 238. You could have had creatures that maxed out at 250. You could have had creatures that maxed out over 300 with mutations and so forth. And I could. But that's not the point of these demonstrations. The point of these demonstrations is to indicate the minimum amount needed to actually accomplish the goal for those who don't have all day and night to grind out at this game, because not everyone does. So yes, if you'd like your efforts to be less costly... Oof. One got a bit knackered. If you like your efforts to be less costly, go for some Megatherium that are 250, higher, 300 even. But yes, the Megatherium strategy still holds. You could even throw some Deodons in there for regen, give your tames even more staying power. But yes, Broodmother was fairly uneventful, courtesy of the fact that she's got a bit of a weak point for these guys, these big sloth guys. So theoretically, we lost somewhere either 9 or 10. I'm just trying to get a final count of what we have left, because we should have had 18 here. Four. Yep, we lost 10 exactly. So little more than half of our Megatherium force. I didn't even get the Uties involved, apart from the Courage Roar. All the Megatheriums are a little rough right now, a little low. Oh, this one's not too bad. Yeah, that's the spider. Next up will be the dragon. I hope you all come back to see me slay that beast and the subsequent bosses. I will be tackling the island in its entirety, and I do have plans, hopefully, to do some of the other maps. I hope you're all staying happy and healthy out there, and as always, fare thee well.